Greetings and welcome to Thursday. I'm here at beautiful Camp Corey, used to be called Camp Brotherhood, founded by Father Tracy, with whom I'm sitting today, and Rabbi Levine of Temple de Hirsch Sinai. But our final visit in this, I hope we have many more, but our final visit this week, Father, I would love for you to help us understand from your own experience in the divided political climate, cultural division that we find ourselves in, people on opposite sides of the aisle, on opposite sides of the fence, a backdrop of war in Ukraine. What baby steps can we take in modeling Jesus' example of loving one another?
I think meeting people. The man who made a big impression on me, but on the Roman Catholic Church, was Pope John the 23rd. He encouraged interfaith relationships and so on. When he died, I was invited to speak in the Temple de Hirsch by Rabbi Levine. So I spoke there, and at the end I came out to the vestibule, and of course I had no idea how my words went out. But waiting in the vestibule for me was a lady who took me by the hand, and she told me her name, and she said, I'm one of the founders of this temple. I mean, I'm 96 years old, but I've always hoped I would hear a priest speak in this temple. And she said, you have done it. So that's one of the great joys of my life, that I gave a sign of unity, of hope for a new vision to a 97-year-old woman, for what I did. Other time, Rabbi Levine died on a Monday morning in a hospital a week after he had an automobile accident, and he was not fully conscious. And that Sunday before he died, I went down to Group Health Hospital. I took his hand, and I said to him, I'll do my best to carry on your vision of the future. So that was my last words with him. And that's what
Did I understand that Rabbi actually carved the altar in the church that you served?
That's exactly. He made the altar for me, and I have a picture of it. You don't have a copy of my book, Wild Branch on the Olive Tree?
I do have it. In fact, I have it in the car.
Well, there's a picture of him and me standing behind the altar. So that's the sign of unity that we... The other thing I have in mind, you keep this and perhaps you can work with me to have it bring about. How can we point out progress in Christian-Jewish relations by doing nothing, waiting for it to happen? I think we should set aside an afternoon or a day for Christian-Jewish relations in which Jews are invited to the Catholic Cathedral and Christians are invited to see the temple and see the signs of progress that have taken place. So I'm hoping that that would happen. My other ideal would be a place where be a soup kitchen operated by Christians and Jews. So they have a dinner that they serve at St. James Cathedral every day. That's wonderful. But I think a sign to begin with that we caring about people and have the same needs as we have. So we're going to have free supper on a Friday night or Thursday night, in some kind of restaurant.
I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep it in mind.
And it all begins, doesn't it, with just becoming friends?
Becoming friends.
No
exactly.
agenda.
Exactly.
We don't have to agree about everything to agree that we like each other.
Logistics. I have to get acquainted. What do you want? You're living in Capitol Hill, or no, you're living in South Seattle, aren't you?
Mercer Island.
Mercer Island, okay. Well, you don't want drug
And I have a lot of Jewish neighbors on Mercer Island.
Okay. But you don't want drug dealers, do you?
No.
You don't want people on dope or people with violence and so on, kids getting out of hand. So this is what the ordinary person needs, is the neighborhood to get on and be friends. So if they had an emergency and somebody had a heart attack, as a pastor, it was the next door neighbor could come and take over the other kids or someplace else. So what I would also like to see is neighborhoods getting together every 3 months just to talk to each other. How things changed. And anybody new who moved in here, how we welcome them, so on.
This visit has to continue, and we will have another visit. I noticed driving into your community today a sign that called attention to Brotherhood Road. But I noticed that the sign connected to Brotherhood Road had some squiggly lines, meaning the road turns. That the road to brotherhood isn't necessarily a straight shot. You have to work at it, right?
That's right, exactly.
Yeah. And tomorrow on our visit, we have...
Excuse me, Emma, don't wait. I'll be waiting just a short time. Wait.
Tomorrow we have a visit from the Gates Foundation at the base of the Space Needle. And did you know that one of your friends, Dale Turner, who was on the Challenge program for a time many years ago, he was Bill Gates' pastor when Bill was 11 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
For the rest of the story, you need to join me tomorrow. But in the meantime, thank you, Father Tracy, for these moments together. Have a blessed day, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Thank you.